Stop being the safest person in every room. That's how you became invisible to yourself. You swallow the insult. You laugh at the disrespect. You stay when every nerve is begging you to walk away, and then alone at night the rage turns inward and you call it being a good person. This is not kindness. It is self-abandonment. You were not born to be everyone's emotional sponge. The Stoics never taught you to be a doormat. They taught you to govern yourself like a city surrounded by strong walls. If anyone can walk through your gates at any time, that is not love, it is lawlessness. Your life feels chaotic because you have customs, but no borders. Look at your history. The times you were too nice were not moments of virtue, but of fear. Fear of being rejected. Fear of being misunderstood. Fear of being called selfish. So you said yes when your chest screamed no. You gave second, third, 10th chances to people who wouldn't give you one honest apology. That wasn't compassion, it was negotiation with your own dignity. If this message is waking something up inside you, don't just listen and forget. Pause, hit subscribe, and stay close to this kind of truth. The Stoic is not cold. The Stoic is clear. Clear about what belongs inside the walls and what must remain outside. Clear that your time, your energy, your peace are limited resources, not an endless well for broken people to drink from. Clear that your duty is first to your character, not to other people's comfort. Until you accept this, you will keep mistaking self-destruction for goodness. So listen, your life will not change because you learn more quotes. It will change the first time you let someone be disappointed in you and you don't break. The first time you say no and stand still like a mountain in a storm. The first time you watch a toxic person walk away, and instead of chasing, you close the gate. That is the moment your kindness stops being weakness and becomes power. You were trained to think that being nice is always the higher road. That's the lie that keeps you exhausted, resentful, and quietly furious at yourself. Kindness without boundaries is not virtue, it is erosion. Like a cliff endlessly beaten by waves, you are shocked when pieces of you start to fall into the sea. The Stoic does not let the ocean decide the shape of the rock. The rock decides. Every time you say yes while your soul whispers no, you betray an inner treaty. You think you're avoiding conflict, but you are relocating it from the outside world to your own chest. The argument you refuse to have with them becomes an endless argument inside your mind. You replay the scene, the words you didn't say, the line you didn't draw. And slowly you stop trusting yourself because you keep watching yourself abandon you. Stoicism begins where people-pleasing ends. It asks one brutal question: who is the ruler of this life, your reason or their reactions? If every decision is shaped by fear of their anger, you are not living, you are performing. You smile on command, you soften your voice, you explain yourself more than truth requires. You become an actor in a cheap play, directed by the most unstable people in the room. Look to the mountain. It does not kneel when the wind disapproves. It adjusts only to what is real: gravity, weather, time. You too must adjust only to what is real, to virtue, to facts, to your principles. Not to someone's tantrum, not to their guilt, not to the story they tell about you when you finally say no. Their opinion is wind, your character must be stone. Understand this clearly. Toxic people are not afraid of your goodness. They are afraid of your limits. They feed on the belief that you will always return, always explain, always soften your words to protect their feelings. When you stop doing that, they don't see kindness anymore. They see a locked gate. And gates scare those who only know how to enter by force. Let them be scared. Your life is not a public park. It is sacred ground. You think strength is in how much you can endure without breaking. So you endure the late-night messages, the sudden demands, the constant crises that are somehow always your problem to solve. You endure the mocking jokes that cut too deep, the "I was just kidding" that follows disrespect. You endure plans cancelled, promises broken, your time treated like scrap metal. And then you wonder why your life feels heavy, even on quiet days. The Stoic does not measure strength by how much abuse he can absorb. Strength is measured by how faithfully he protects what is his to protect. Your body, your mind, your schedule, your values, these are your walls. When you let anyone write graffiti on them, you are not tolerant. You are absent. No empire survives with the gates wide open and the guards asleep. There is a simple boundary that terrifies toxic people: time. You answer every message instantly, so they learn that your attention is always for sale. You drop your plans whenever they appear, so they learn that your priorities are negotiable. From today, respond slower. Speak shorter. Leave some space between their demand and your reply. In that space, you will feel their anxiety rise and your clarity grow. Another boundary is access. Not everyone deserves front-row seats to your life. Stop explaining your every decision to people who haven't earned the right to advise you. Stop sharing your deepest doubts with those who secretly enjoy watching you crumble. Move them from the center of the city to the outer ring, or outside the walls entirely. Distance is not cruelty, it is architecture. And then there is the boundary of consequence. You have warned them 1,000 times, but nothing changes, because nothing happens. A Stoic does not threaten. A Stoic acts calmly once. You say, if this continues, I will step back. Then, when it continues, you step back. No speech, no drama. Just a door quietly closing on behavior that will no longer be allowed. There is a fear buried under your niceness, the fear of being alone. You imagine that if you draw real boundaries, the room will empty, the phone will go silent, and you will finally see how few people truly care. So you keep buying company with obedience. You trade your silence for their presence, your sleep for their chaos, your peace for their approval. But secretly, you already feel alone, in a crowd that does not actually see you. The Stoic path is brutal at first because it rips away these illusions. When you raise your standards, some people will leave. That is not a failure, it is a filter. The ones who only loved your compliance will drift toward their next easy target. The ones who value your character will adjust, or at least respect the new distance. In the empty space that remains, solitude ceases to be a threat and becomes a training ground. Imagine your mind as a harbor. Not every ship that signals has the right to dock. Some bring goods, wisdom, and loyalty. Others bring termites and fire. Until now, you've allowed anything that smiled to anchor in your waters. Now you will inspect, you will question, you will deny entry when the cost is your sanity. This is not paranoia, it is responsibility for the only harbor you will ever own. As your boundaries harden, something unexpected happens. Your kindness becomes cleaner. You are no longer generous out of fear, but out of choice. You give time because you want to, not because you're terrified of what they'll say if you don't. You listen with patience, but you no longer tolerate disrespect disguised as honesty. Your yes regains its value because your no finally exists. Look at the mountain one last time. The storm does not admire it for breaking, it respects it for standing. The world does not need another nice person secretly drowning in rage and exhaustion. It needs someone who is calm, firm, and unbribable by guilt. Let your boundaries be that stone, and watch how quickly toxic people learn to walk another path. You are not weak because you cared too much. You were simply never taught how to care without collapsing. So this is where your new life quietly begins. Not with anger, not with revenge, but with a line drawn in calm, in daylight, in full responsibility for your own soul. From here on, you will not cross it to keep someone who would never do the same for you. First, you decide what you will no longer tolerate from yourself. No more pretending you're fine when your body tightens and your jaw locks. No more saying it's nothing when something is clearly breaking inside. No more calling it love when it is really fear of being abandoned. You face the mirror and admit, I have been harming myself in the name of harmony. Then you decide what you will no longer negotiate. Your sleep is non-negotiable. Your self-respect is non-negotiable. Your values are non-negotiable. Your right to walk away from what is sick for you is non-negotiable. Understand, this transformation will be quiet. No dramatic speeches, no public declarations, just different choices, repeated. You answer less. You justify less. You apologize less for existing. Your life starts to feel lighter, not because people changed, but because your gate finally did. In the end, Stoic boundaries are not about scaring toxic people. They are about reassuring the honest ones and yourself that your heart is guarded, not closed. That your yes is clean, your no is firm, and your peace is no longer up for auction. You will still be kind, you will still be generous. But now your kindness will be carved in stone, not in sand.